Hello everybody, good morning and welcome back to day 7 of eating for $35 a week from Dollar General. Today we're just gonna dial it back a notch on the creativity aspect because we've had a couple of fails recently and that's okay. But we're gonna try to just do some normal meals today. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this series so far. It has been really fun for me, very challenging in a good way. Eating on a budget in and of itself is extremely challenging, and I hope, if nothing else, that these videos give you some ideas on maybe ways that you can use ingredients you already have in some unique ways, and I hope it also provides some insight on some things that don't work. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, and we're living and learning by that throughout this week. So this is officially my 7th and final French vanilla iced coffee for the week. Had I known that I was going to be doing this for more than 7 days, I would have probably gotten a different coffee that would have lasted me a little bit longer, but that would have meant that I would have had to give up on some food items. So it's kind of a trade-off. You know, not everyone can make it out to the grocery store every week. Sometimes you have to make it work for 8 to 9 days until you have the time to get to the store. And maybe that means going without morning coffee a couple of days, but I'm gonna enjoy this one today. For breakfast this morning, like I said, we're dialing it back a notch. We're just gonna go back to some kind of normal meals. I'm thinking of making a sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich. Amidst all the attempts to be creative, I think I am most excited about just a normal sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich. The hash brown casserole was still my favorite, but this is a great breakfast as well. You guys wanted more dog content, and I am happy to oblige. I'm about to bring the dogs to the dog sitter, and this is the most fun part about bringing the dogs to the dog sitter. Downy! Paparoos are dropped off at the dog sitter and it is now lunchtime, and I think we're gonna keep it simple. Today is all about keeping it simple. I really enjoyed that hot ham and cheese sandwich that I made the other day. So I'm gonna do something like that, but I'm gonna omit the cheese this time so I can save the cheese for other things. I don't need it for the sandwich, and I'm gonna have the rest of my beef and barley soup with some white rice on the side. So no sour cream this time in my soup, no cheese on my sandwich. This is a dairy-free meal. There's a lot of times when I'm at the store and I'm doing the shopping, I'm buying things based on my own personal preference, but I don't always realize how like cheese heavy some of the foods that I buy are. So this is a budget-friendly, dairy-free meal. Let's go ahead and eat our lunch. I do really like this crispy ham sandwich with deli mustard. And the beef and barley soup is much better without the addition of the sour cream. I feel like that was a mistake on my part. I still would prefer another can of ham and bean soup. You can't go wrong with a meal like this. The day 5 video is up and you guys are loving my creation of the tuna casserole grilled cheese, and that makes me happy and I don't want to be creative just for the sake of being creative, but I do want to give practical ideas, and it makes me happy how many of you are receptive to it, and also how many of you mentioned that it's something you've either eaten before or something that you probably would have also done yourself given the circumstances. So again, it's the practicality of it, and it makes me so happy that you guys are enjoying that. I am now ready to do my final day 7 dinner, and I say final because we are going to continue this beyond day 7. Typically, I do like to try to include some kind of a meat in every single meal, but as far as meats goes, I am down to just a packet of tuna. I have some breakfast sausage and I have some deli turkey. So not a whole lot, and then I do still have the taco soup in the freezer. But I think we're gonna make a meatless dinner tonight. Probably just gonna do a somewhat of a broccoli cheddar rice bake. I am actually genuinely excited about this broccoli, cheese, and rice mixture. As a kid, my mom used to serve those little green giant broccoli cuts in cheese sauce, and it was one of my favorite things. I could pretty much eat those straight. This is basically that, but with rice added to it, and then some cheese on top. I did give it some potato chips on the side in case I want some added crunch, because otherwise it's not really going to have a whole lot of texture going on besides the broccoli. I feel like the chips are the real MVP of this week because they've done a lot for adding like crunchy textures into things. Depending on what you already have, you could definitely add some meat to this if you have some already on hand, but even as a vegetarian meal, this is actually a really good and filling one. Because of the rice and the cheese, they're kind of heavy when they're combined together. The chips are nice, but they are not necessary. They do add a nice salty crunch to the rice mixture, but the rice mixture is really good on its own. I wish I had put a little bit more of the broccoli cheese soup in it, because I find that the flavor is slightly diluted down a little bit more than I would like. But, I did add some sour cream in there. We've got some shredded cheese on top. Honestly, it's a really good and filling meal, and it's a vegetarian meal, so there's no meat in here. So it's pretty fantastic for just being such a basic meal. And sometimes the most simple meals can be the most comforting, and sometimes the most filling meals. It doesn't have to be over the top. I really like it, and it's a great dinner, and that's a good contrast to the past couple of days and the past couple of dinners that I have made. But I will leave you guys off here today. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you again probably on Tuesday.